Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 193, or if you were here last week, 13 of Geek Each Week Live. I am one of your hosts, Christopher Long from Long's Toys. I'm joined, of course, with my good buddies. Rye, what's up, Rye? It's true.
I'm okay.
Good. And we got Aerosol. What's up, Aerosol?
Hello. We upload in bulk.
That's true. Yeah. Well, if you guys only watched last week, you got a lot of backlog to catch up on. So a lot of good times. The chat, we got Elohim, we got Jeff, we got Chili Eilish, we got Chen X, we got AJMC, Lil Adam, Ryder, Edward Tanzer, Blade Raider, an AJMC clone on Twitter, Adam Prime, Jay, Floof, Morgan.
Hi, baby.
And I think that's everybody. So hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this fabulous Friday evening. Ryan, go ahead and kick it off. What did you get this week?
So, I wasn't here last week.
That's true, yeah.
What was the episode 12 thing? I didn't watch the show.
I don't know. First of all, wow. Second of all, I don't know. Corey fucked up somehow and labeled it episode 12. Because then because I wasn't there at first because I was in New York, and so I was trying to join on my phone, and my phone's a little janky sometimes when it's trying to use StreamYard. And so Corey's like, "Hello, I don't know how to intro this. Welcome to episode 12." And everyone's like, "Episode 12? What the fuck are you talking about?" So I think he labeled it wrong too. I really couldn't see it.
Yeah,
but
he labeled it 1-2, right? Instead of 192 or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Second question. You were in a Blockies video?
I am?
That's what Floof said.
Where? Official Blockies video. Tell me. You post me the link. I'm ready. Let's go. I didn't know this. I don't know when, but
interesting.
I'm very interested. The Geek Each Week Discord. I don't got that.
I was gonna say you lost Chris.
I don't know what you're talking about there, sir.
All right, let's get started. I got this hoodie of Stitch. It's nice and warm. I like it. Let's see. Also, while I was with Morgan last week, got a little red panda friend, a squishable, not to be confused with squishmallows. They're different.
Sure.
Well, I got him, and yeah, we had a really good time. He got a new phone, which was really fun. So
was it like inordinately expensive now?
No, not yet. Not yet. We beat the tariffs.
Fantastic.
we beat the tariffs. Trying to remember the order of things. We did get a box of boys.
Box of boys.
His possession, but I did get these two little gay friends. Because I don't know why exactly, other than I'm like, yeah, they're cute. We could make them do gay shit. So here's Shoma and Honto. They can go be gay together. And you bet your ass I pre-ordered Lakia.
We can make them do gay.
Now they're a throuple. No, not yet, because Lakia's not out yet. Rom's plushie isn't even out yet. For Pokemon Day, I bought some things. I finally got this. This has been out for a very long time, and I've wanted this for so fucking long. But it was always really expensive because it's older. It came out around the same time as Sun and Moon did, which was a fucking long time ago somehow. fucking course of time. But yeah, Pokemon Center just randomly did a weird plushie restock of random ass shit, and they were included. And so
I mean,
I did
that was the previous anniversary they were celebrating.
Fuck yeah, it was. And then in that same order, I got Morgan this sleeping Eevee, which I believe is the first time he's actually seeing it. I got it today. Oh yeah, no, his little feetsies tuck in. Yeah, I know, Floof. We're gonna have the Pokemon segment this week. It'll be a fun time.
I've added so much to it. Don't you worry.
So much. Anyway, I hope you like that, baby. And yes, I did take you to the store, and it was an adventure. Have to go back to that mall though. It's a good mall. HLJ box guy here at some point that had I got the Rider Hero for Sorbet because just I fucking love this suit. So
Yeah.
like if they figure out the Sorbet suit, I'll probably have to get the figure out of the Sorbet. Why didn't they make a fucking action figure of the Sorbet suit?
I do not know. That would have been very nice.
I'm pissed.
They made Cake King and they were like, that's it.
They made Cake King and then they're like,
okay,
Yeah. I feel like
Goodbye,
that's just how it goes for every season now.
I don't know
You
why
get to that first big upgrade, and then maybe we won't do the rest.
They're like, it's a new figure line. We do 3, and that's it. And you're like, oh shit, okay.
Also, baby, no, nothing of yours is here. That was stuff from the box that I gave you when I saw you last. I did pay for this last batch of stuff though, so you'll have some stuff soon. I think I'll have some stuff soon too. I don't remember what was in there, but I got Sorbet Man. He is not as thrilling as I wanted him to be, but he's cute. In that box, I also got the Tyranno Hammer. Yes, you are spoiled, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And the Lion Gun. Go spin. Yay. These are fine. Everything about this line so far is just fine. So yeah, those had the little helmet rings for those two. And then in that I also got the nope, that's not the right one. Where you at? There you are.
There's so many just loose like
the
the ring things.
The blue and yellow ones. These are so weird because the DX releases always pack a bigger ring like clip in there, which is like cool because the Wizard rings didn't. You had to buy them off Premium Bandai or some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, that's great. It's still fucking loose as shit on my finger. I'm like, well, like it's not made for tiny girl hands. It's all right on my index finger until I put a ring on it, and then it's too heavy, and then it just falls off. So
this feels like the opposite problem anyone else will have.
Yes.
With those.
Honestly, the larger loops fit my fingers kind of perfectly. Obviously the smaller ones I can't really wear at all, but I don't really wear any of them to be honest.
Yeah, because like these are tiny as shit, and then you have these ones which are big as shit. I'm like, I need a middle ground, which is funny because I think when they did the Wizard rings, they had an L and an LL, and I think I fit the L, and they didn't do that for this line. So that was in the HLJ box. I did not get the Tegasword at HLJ because as I was trying to check out, it hit order stop, and I could not get it. So I had to go to Bai to get it, and it was fine. Like I didn't pay any extra or anything like that. It was just like pretty much normal retail price. So I did get the dumbass buckle because I needed the G Ranger ring. And then I got the Tiga sword. It is aggressively fine. I hate saying it feels very Bandai America. Not in terms of like sounds and stuff, because like the sounds are really good, but just in terms of what it does and like its shape. I don't know. It's a feel. It's a feel, and I don't
It's a
know
vibe. It's a mood.
how to describe it, but it is all right. And hopefully it gets better in the future. But also that had, I forgot which was which, to be honest with you, but the Gashapon rings, so like here's Mega Ranger.
That's funny. They're out already because I have them at Toke Electricals, but he hasn't sent them to me yet, so I'm sure he doesn't have them yet.
So I got the capsule ones. I need to get the new Boon Boonsher one, and I need to get the Candy Toy ones still. But speaking of Boon Boonsher, I got the Boon Boonsher Gochizo too, because
Nice,
I didn't want to
excellent.
miss this one. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
So yeah, I got that. That was all of the import fun. Hold on. Flu says, I think it's unfortunately had to be hollowed out so 3-year-olds could lift it. I mean, that's fair. Also, I can't clap my hands because this is the most uncomfortable fucking thing to hold. So no, I can't clap my hands. Take a sword. Go fuck yourself. Anyway. Sorry, a little aggressive. I got the fucking Naruto bitches.
Yeah.
They're here. They're pretty
fucking in
neat.
disguise.
I like the Gamakichi mold a lot, and I really, really hope that it gets turned into Spidor or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, this would have made a
Spidor was.
fantastic like core class figure of someone from Rid or Beast Wars 2nd or something like that.
Yeah. The
But
multiple different Spidors.
That's basically.
I think that's it. Oh, that I forgot. That box, I didn't open it yet. That's why I forgot. The HLJ box also had the fucking Bitter Gov belt. I just don't really give a fuck about it right now, so I never opened it.
Whoa, no love for Bitter Gov,
though. I also got a continuous blood glucose monitor. I have not figured out how to use it yet. But
does that go in the Bitter Gabu belt? How does that work?
Yeah, you just stick it in there, and it tells me what my blood sugar is.
Eat a diabetes. Eat a diabetes.
Eat medicine. Eat medicine. Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think sure, we'll pretend it is.
Okay. So I did get some stuff. Apparently a lot of Simpsons stuff. So a while ago, because this is wave 3, and I found just Homer at Target, and then as I was walking around Toy Fair, I got an alert on my phone that was like, all the rest are online at Target. So I was like, sweet. And literally, I'm like walking the aisles of Toy Fair, and I'm like, this is the first time I've ever bought toys at Toy Fair. And I just quick put them on my cart. And I was able to check out before they sold out again. But the rest of wave 3 is Lenny and Marge and Maggie. And everything's coming up Millhouse. So I'm excited for these. These are going to be fun. So that's wave 3 of those. And then I was on my way to Toy Fair, and I stopped at Five Below, and I found the rest of the second wave of the 2.5-inch figures. And I got lucky. They must have like just put out a case, because you can find Bart and Krusty from this wave everywhere, because that's like the most in the case. Sideshow Bob, I think there's only like 2 of them, and there's only like 1 each of Itchy and Scratchy. So I got the only one of each of these that they had, and I was like, damn, I just happened to walk in at the absolute right moment. The other week they had, someone posted in the Epic Hero Series Facebook group, they're like, oh, Ghost Spider's on available at Walmart.com. And I'm like, sweet. So I put that in my cart, and then I was like, I need a couple more things to get free shipping. And so I ended up buying 4 things total. They sent the other 3 things and then canceled my order for Ghost Spider because they're like, sorry, we don't actually have this. And I was like, cool, I bought all this other shit to get free shipping. But I got another one of these Aquaman 4-packs, mostly because I wanted the Shark Man and the Diver Man as army builders. And this whole 4-pack was $7. So I was like, okay, that seems good. Speaking of ridiculously cheap Spin Master products, I got this set for $5.50 on Amazon. And I don't really like, I'm pretty sure they've done this vehicle before, but it's a new version of Man-Bat, and you get another Batman. So I was like, all this shit for $5, like that's fair. And then I grabbed this on Amazon because it was like $3.50. And I was like, we don't have this in Vintage Collection yet. And then I think like the day after I bought this, Hasbro announced it for Vintage Collection. So I thought that was funny. I also got Wave 3 of the Infinity Saga blockies. So I'm excited about that. And then the Crown Jewel. Actually, no, before I get to that, another thing I bought was this NECA Shredder Ninja Turtle figure. But the Crown Jewel, I forgot I ordered this forever ago. Hasbro finally shipped it to me. Masterpiece Super Jinrai. I just opened the box that came in. I haven't opened this yet, but I'm very excited. I love Master Force. I love Jinrai, so I'm excited to check that out. I got it from what?
Did you get it from Pulse?
Yeah, I had it. I pre-ordered it at first on HLJ, and then Hasbro Pulse was like, well, we'll sell it to you for like $2 cheaper and free shipping. I was like, well, all right. So I went and canceled. I went to cancel at HLJ, and they were kind of dicks about it because they don't like to cancel pricey items once you pre-order them. So I wouldn't let me cancel it. Like, cancel was grayed out. And so I emailed them and I was like, cancel this, motherfuckers. And they're like, okay. And then they canceled it. But yeah, because I figured, I'm like, even if it's the same price, like the shipping will be more expensive with HLJ. So I was like, I'll just do it from Hasbro Pulse. And now they already have like a black version. I don't know why anyone needs that, but sure, go ahead. So yeah, I won't like tell all my stories, but real quick, I went to Toy Fair over the weekend. It was a lot of fun. Saw some cool shit. Blockies gave me like a show exclusive gold version of Bumblebee from the movie, like Classic Class. So I'm going to build that and do a video on that sometime soon. I went to the Jazzwares press event on Sunday night. It was like right before the show closed on Sunday. And they're like, oh, we have some swag for you. And I was like, oh shit, nobody gives swag out anymore. And so they have this door in the back, and like I poke my head in, and it's just cases and cases of shit. And I'm just like, why did you bring so much shit? And so they kind of tell us to form a line, and the lady just hands me 2 bags. And I'm like, oh, do you want me to like pass one down? She's like, no, they're both for you. I'm like, okay. And so there was only one massive box in each bag, but it was, the first one was a set of 5. So for the Micro Galaxy Squadron, they've been doing like squadron packs where they'll do like a box that's 5 X-Wings, and then they have a box that's 5 TIE Fighters. So that's what the 2, but one box was the 5 X-Wings, was the 5 TIE Fighters. So I'm like, all right, sweet, this is awesome. And then we sit down. They're like, we have snacks, soda, get some snacks. So I'm like eating pigs in a blanket. They're delicious, by the way. And so I'm sitting there with my friend, and we're eating our little hot dogs. And I see this dude walk by with just his arms full of random shit. And I'm like, where the hell did you get all that? He's like, they're giving out more shit. I was like, okay. So we go again in line again. And this lady's like rummaging in the back. They're all just like opening all of the cases that I saw. And I hear a guy say, just get rid of all of it. And I'm like, okay. Because apparently they don't want to, they have to ship it all back. So they don't want to pay for that. So they're just throwing shit out of this door. Like, take this, take this, take this. And it took them a minute. They eventually kind of like took stock of like how many different items they had, and they started making new bags to give out. But I got a huge box. It's a Halo Warthog from the 4-inch line that comes with a Spartan, and it's like a black, primarily black color scheme with like blue and pink. Like it looks like the Splatoon guys got to it and spray paint the shit out of it. It looks really cool. That was a big box. They gave me like 2 wrestling figures. They gave me another Halo figure. And I think there was something else too. I can't remember. And so then, well, like I said, once I kind of started figuring out how many different items they had, they started making more bags and giving them out. So like me and my friend left the Jazzwares thing with 3 huge sacks of shit each. And we're like, damn, this is awesome, right? We're riding the high, and then we're like, I have to walk 5 blocks uphill with this to my car. And then he's like, fuck you, I have to take this home on the train. And then we're both like, fuck. So, and it was windy, man. So like the wind is like trying to blow everything around. I'm trying to walk uphill. Then I'm like walking through Port Authority with these massive bags. I'm like, nobody mugged me. Trying to get back to my car and then just get the hell out of there. But yeah, it was crazy. It was like, I just thought it was so funny that they're literally like, just get it out of here. So, but yeah, saw a lot of cool shit. Some of it I'm not allowed to talk about. Lego is like Fort Knox. Like I go in and I make an appointment and I get up there and they're like, okay, sign this NDA. I'm like, okay. Then they're like, put your phone in this bag. Okay. Then the lady's like, come with me. She took me around. There was a dude at a podium, took a picture of my like press badge. We go through a door, turn a corner, a narrow hallway. There's like a TSA style podium with another dude who took a picture of my badge. Then we go around another corner into a door into the room where everything is. There's 2 security guards, I'm assuming armed, prowling that. And I'm just like, Jesus. And then they're like, what do you want to see first? I'm like, the rest of my life. Can I get out of here? Like, my God. And so, like, I can't tell you anything that I saw, but I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I knew I was never going to be able to take pictures. Like, I took that for granted. But they're like, you can't talk about anything you see. You can't, like, hint at anything you see. And I'm just like,
so what's the point?
So why do you entertain press requests? Like, I understand you're here to sell to retailers, and
like I get investors,
right? Like the
stuff
retailers
like that,
come in and they don't give a shit about posting any of this. They're just like, yeah, give me cases of that, give me cases of that, whatever. I'm out. I understand, but then I'm just like, why do you even entertain press requests if you're not going to let us report on anything? So it was just like a nice nerd moment for me to see some shit early and be like, this is cool. Now to take it to my grave. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, so it was weird, but it was cool at the same time. And yeah, so I'm trying to think of those. I mean, most of the other shit you've seen pictures of already, so it was circulating the internet. And we'll talk about some of it in a minute. But yeah, I guess that's it for me. So go ahead.
And apparently you snuck your way into a Blockies video.
I have to check that out because I don't know what that is.
Did you sign an NDA? Because they might be coming for you.
No, Lego was the only one I knew of. I'm trying to think. Did anyone else have to sign? I was trying to think of like other people I talked to. I don't think there was any other NDAs. Oh, you know what? At Spin Master, when I like signed into their iPad portal, it just said like you promised. Like there were things that were like you can take pictures of this, you can't take pictures of this, licensor approval pending, and that kind of shit. So you just attested that you wouldn't share pictures of shit you weren't supposed to, which is easy not to do. But yeah, no one else had NDAs as far as I know.
All right. And news. Soda Pop.
Yes, so this is Choto Alpha 12. Looks pretty good. You got Rosso and Blue. You got Ultra Woman Grigio. Is that Jonius?
Yeah.
The cartoon one, right?
Yep.
And then I don't know who this dude on the end is. And then it looks like some monsters. I think it's interesting that they're dropping monsters in the normal waves now because they used to do them separately. Oh, 80. Okay, the other one's 80. Yeah, so that's cool because previously they had done the monsters in separate like monster waves. So this is cool that they're mixing them around. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm into this. I think Grigio looks great and Rosso and Blue. So we'll see if we get like actual Rube later on when they merge together. Spoilers. But yeah, should be cool. That's all I have to say about that. All right, here you go.
This is all I made for the Pokemon segment, so
Yeah, we were
get used to this photo.
we were a little short on time today for reasons. But yeah, so we didn't get to talk about this last week because I wasn't here. But there was the Pokemon Presents on February 27th. There was a couple other, they did the updates to all their mobile games and stuff like that. They always do, nothing too groundbreaking there. They did announce Pokemon Champions, which is a mobile and Switch game that
All right, I forgot about that one.
it's basically just Pokemon battles. It's like Battle Revolution Stadium, stuff like that. The way that I see it and predict it happening is I feel like moving forward, we are going to get a lot more games like Legends Arceus and Legends ZA. I feel the main core games will try to do new things, not necessarily always be like this sort of real-time style that ZA is, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But not necessarily always that style, but the main video games will now be able to experiment with different like attack styles and gameplay loops and stuff like that, because now everything can get imported into Champions, and Champions is just the classic turn-based style that everyone is used to, and the style that Worlds is used to and competitors are used to, and something that you can actually compete with, because I would not want to compete with like Legends ZA's battle loop.
No, I don't think that would work.
I would never want to do that. So I think that's really cool. There really isn't any information about it yet. It did show a Mega Charizard fighting a Terrestrialized Dondozo. So it seems like there will be either the ability to do multiple gimmicks on your team, or at least a way of going like, okay, I want to use Megas, and you like click a button and you'll use Megas for that round, but your opponent can use Z moves or Terrestrialize or whatever it may be.
I would hope that it's not just limited to those two. I mean, it might.
And yeah, it very well could.
Those are the two at the forefront at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
it would not surprise me that at least Gigantamax and Dynamax would be in there too, just to unite all of the Switch gimmicks.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but it's a very neat concept at the very least.
It's also neat that it's cross-platform. Like,
yeah,
it's Switch and mobile. So that's nice. I I think that's the idea of the mainline games doing radically new stuff is hopeful. personally. But
What?
I
You want new things or something?
that said, I do like the idea that you posed, like this being like, hey, you want your turn-based battles and
Mm-hmm.
like competitive shit, like it's here. And that, if everything else you can just kind of port it to this, and that's the avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Aside from that, there's not a ton to say about it. It's not a ton to say about a lot
Yeah.
of stuff from this presents. But,
Uh-huh.
um,
Just
yeah,
moving to ZA.
yeah. Uh, so we've
It's a game.
our as you can see, we're getting the Johto trio for our starters.
Yeah.
Um, I I adore fan art every time these kinds of games come out, and the fact that so many of them are like, either Cyndaquil got abducted and sent to the past, or
Yeah. Yeah.
this is Tepig like pretending to be Cyndaquil.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've been here the whole time. What are you talking? Shit like that's really funny.
It's been really fun on Twitter.
Yeah. That said, don't know why they decided to go
It's
with
just
two
it's a
Johto.
really weird choice. Like obviously, like we knew going into this game that chances are we were going to get a Gen 2, a Gen 5, and a Gen 7. Because it just sort of felt like they wanted to keep the Legends group as a Legends group. And so I'm like, okay, like I can get behind that. I understand. And then they're like, bam, two Johto. And we're like, okay. Uh,
Yeah.
it's this weird unbalance that's strange to my brain.
It's also kind of going to make it weird if, if the idea that these guys get megas is true.
Like I
You
just
can have
they
two
can't.
megas for the Johto group and one regional.
Like
That's not
they just
that's not super equivalent.
they can't get megas. Like there's zero way that they can get megas and make it make sense.
I personally would prefer just regional forms.
Yeah, that's my assumption right now is that they'll get regional forms, and they won't get megas, and we'll go from there. And I feel it'll be the same for the next the next Legends game too. Floof said the Gen 6 starters need megas. I think if any set of starters is going to get megas, I feel like the Kalos starters should get megas in this game.
Yeah.
Just because they're due for it. The fact that the Kalos starters didn't get megas in their own
And
damn
I'd
game.
be surprised if they weren't in this game at all, just given that Arceus had the,
Yeah.
starters.
So like that being said, I love Chikorita. I adore Chikorita. Chikorita's wonderful. Snivy would have been such a good fit for France.
Yeah.
Granted, that would have skewed everything differently.
I think Empoleon would have been good for France as well, but
I feel like they did two Johto, one Unova. I feel like it's only because their final evolutions worked for the theming that they wanted to do. Because that's the only reason I could think of why this would make sense to do it this way.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But that means the next Legends game should be Poplio, Litton, and Snivy. So that's a group. But yeah, so starter choices aside,
I think the game so far looks okay.
mm-hmm.
We didn't really get to see too much as far as like what we're actually gonna be doing. I mean, we
Yeah.
know that we're obviously gonna be running around, and there's gonna be wild areas now, and they're gonna be sort of sectioned off from what I assume is going to be a much bigger main map.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm kind of half and half on that idea. On one hand, I totally get why they would not want everything to be out all at once, just given
Mm-hmm.
how well it probably would not run on the Switch. Uh, but at the same time, it I understand why some people have felt like it's kind of a weird step backwards from Scarlet Violet, where everything
Mm-hmm.
was present and now it's being sectioned off again. I don't know.
I think the problem is that Scarlet Violet ran like shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think they
That is literally the only thing that's keeping me like,
yeah,
okay,
I
I'm
think
not
they looked at
super hard
how
against it, you know.
yeah, how well Arceus ran and then how shitty Scarlet Violet ran. And they're like, maybe maybe this entirely open world thing ain't for us.
Yeah.
Now granted, I want it to be eventually, because I did like Scarlet Violet. It ran like shit. I did like Scarlet Violet though.
I
But I don't know, I like I'm trying to phrase it in a way that doesn't make me seem like a fucking boomer. I I don't know. I just like the simplicity from before.
yeah. No, I 100% agree. Uh, had they nailed it better, I think I'd be more open to it.
Sure.
But just given the fact that as much as I play and like still play Scarlet and Violet, it's not because of its performance.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of my not like drawbacks of the open world style is I'm a very story driven person when it comes to video games. And because of how Scarlet Violet was a game where you could do anything in any order at any time, nothing felt linear enough in my head. And it's like you had the story with Penny and you had the story with Arvin, and then you had the battles with the gym leaders and stuff, all kind of going at the same time, if that's how you played, which is how I played. And so everything seemed very like discombobulated when it came to trying to experience the narrative. And thank you, Box. Yeah, there was no sense of progression of arcs. Like things started and then things ended, and there wasn't a whole lot of substance in between. That said, I think the ending portions of the various stories were well done. I like that, but the journey to get there wasn't enough for me.
I think it was like you said, the endings the latter portion of all these stories,
Mhm.
and once you actually got to experience some of the meatier stuff from the stories, I think those were great. I think those were like some really fantastic aspects of the game. But yeah, a lot of it came about after kind of meandering about a bit, and I think Box also mentioned like there's sort of a general fatigue when it comes to open world games lately, and I totally
Mhm.
get that. I get why, because if you have an open world and there's not enough happening in that world, then it feels more empty than if you have a more linear world that has a lot happening in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think back to Gen 6, right? Like where that was very linear, but with enough side paths to where you did kind of feel like, you know, exploration was, it benefited you
Mhm.
a little bit. Um, and there was enough going on and in each individual portion of it. Uh, that said, as far as like getting into actual gameplay that we did see, um, I'm I'm pretty okay with it. Like what we
Mhm.
saw from this,
The
uh,
battle style is
is
really exciting to me. I think
it's
it's
gonna get some taking used to,
sure,
but I
sure.
in a good way. I want to have that feeling of like not knowing that I can just roll up and steamroll a Pokemon game because I've been playing them for 30 years, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, and I think it's a really cool way of taking aspects of Legends Arceus and progressing it without necessarily keeping exactly like the same stuff. Like we're not
Mhm.
keeping the strong and
Yeah.
fast styles
Yeah, agile and
agile.
whatever the hell.
Um, instead, we're going for more of the real time sort of combat
Mhm.
aspect, and I totally dig how that not only works as far as like battles are concerned, but as well as like uh hunting down and capturing Pokemon. Like you can just have your little guy at your side,
Yeah.
be like, okay, now use the move. And you don't have to go into a battle to do it. You don't have to go
Right.
into the separate sequence. You can just have it happen.
And damn it, it took 29 years, but we can finally dodge.
And we can dodge, yes. I think that's awesome that there's like distance to the moves, like
Mhm.
there's reach now that you have to worry about, as opposed to just there's a 80% chance, I guess, that I'm gonna hit this move.
Yeah.
We'll see if it works.
There's actually like strategy and placement uh to think about and not just a statistic.
Yeah.
And I think that aspect looks really cool. I'm really excited to give it a try and really like kind of engross into it because I don't know, I think it's a style that's fresh and new and exciting, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited to throw hippos onto rooftops. Think of all the fucking things. They're like, here's a hippo on a roof. I'm like, oh god. And then the fucking trader sends out an onyx and it's really small. I'm like, what is happening? There's not a wonderful sense of scale in the game, it seems, so far, but
which
maybe
once again is,
sure, you can only do so
either
much.
that's a particularly small onyx, or we're taking another step back and the sizes aren't a thing now.
I think yeah, Jay said it in the chat that the biggest issue with Scarlet Violet was scale. Like, some Pokemon were very hard to see. That was a problem sometimes.
Oh yeah.
You're just running around and you just run into like a Joltik or a fucking, what else is really small, like a Rabombi or something. And they're just like, they're really fucking tiny and you can't see them. I hope shinies are noticeable too. And it's not that I'll ever fucking find one, but
I absolutely agree. I hope there's an audio cue again, because that's like 90% of how you shiny hunt in.
Yeah, the fact they took out the audio cue in Scarlet Violet was absurd to me.
Yeah, especially because of what you just said, like the scale of certain Pokemon being so small.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally been sitting here just earlier today, trying to shiny hunt some of the the swarms that we've gotten in from this presents, and man, it's not easy trying to see those tiny little apples that are like a pixel big on your screen to try and figure out which one's green or red on a background that is largely green. Unfortunately, like, aside from character stuff, which, like, was there really to say aside from, hey, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
there's some
design.
rivals, and there's
AZ is back.
Yeah, he's
running a hotel.
Running a hotel. There's the guy that's comfortable enough in his masculinity to wear like scrunchies of Baneri and Pancham. So good for him. Proud of him. Bless Vinny. He'll probably try to kick your ass at some point in this game. Don't trust him at all. But yeah, the player character models are pretty good. Can't wait to completely customize them to look nothing like the default one. Please let me get rid of that hat. Hi, baby. I know you're comfortable enough in your masculinity to wear that, and if they make them, I will buy them for you. So I want to see a Baneri scrunchie in your hair. Thank you.
All of that said, I didn't super walk away from this presents with a positive attitude, if I'm being completely
honest. My attitude was very like, okay.
Partially because not only sorry. Something in chat. Just real hard.
Maybe I agree with you for what it's worth. That's why I can't wait to customize them.
Normally normally with presents, I'm a little more tame as far as like being disappointed that certain things didn't get put out there, because I don't always have the same level of expectation that other Nintendo fans seem to have.
Sure.
But man, it's been over a year since these games were announced, and this is the first bit of information that we've gotten about them since their announcement. And it definitely would have been nice to have just a little bit more.
Yeah. My takeaway from this is the fact, like, okay, you announced these games, said nothing for a year straight, and like the only thing we really saw were the starters, the new characters, and the battle system, which like on paper is a lot, but when you like kind of casually hype up this game and keep us in the dark for a whole year, I just wanted a tiny bit more. I wanted a new Pokemon or a new regional form or a new Mega or something. Like give me a hook
Yeah.
of some sort, because like coming out of this presents as it stands, I mean, I'm sure there is, but we don't actually know if there's regional forms or new megas. The trailer gave us nothing in that regard to kind of get our minds going and like hype us up.
And what's frustrating is that because this is Game Freak, not having that confirmation,
yes,
could genuinely mean there won't be any news. And like he said, there probably will be.
Mm-hmm.
It would be fucking absurd to release the game after the previous two games that we had and not give us something new with it. But I can see them doing that. I can see them basically just saying, do whatever the fuck we want, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not a great mentality that I want from my game company.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Double D owns right. They could have at least explained more about why it's called ZA. Like, Zygarde's like dog form was in there for like a second, and that was the little wormy one, the cell was there too. But like they never mentioned anything about Zygarde, if I remember correctly, in the actual part where the lady talked.
Yeah,
like we still don't actually know like what the fuck we're doing in this game. Like we have zero information about what we're doing, other than we are visiting Lumio City, and that's it. Have fun.
Well, we're helping AZ run his hotel.
Okay.
Because
the immortal man can't run a fucking hotel by himself. Come on.
When you are an immortal man who designed a weapon that had the possibility to wipe out large chunks of life on the planet, then yeah, naturally, after a couple thousand years, you just feel like
this immortal man committed genocide, and we're just letting him run a hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, but like 3,000 years ago, so like
okay, it's fine. There's a statute of limitations on genocide. 3,000 years, fine. You're off the hook. Everyone would have been dead anyway. Jesus Christ. Fucking AZ. He looked so happy though. He's just happy to have his Floette back. Can we catch the fucking Floette this time?
You want to catch his Floette?
Well, just one that looks like his Floette. I don't want to catch his Floette and like separate them because that's probably what led to genocide in the first. It is what led to genocide in the first place. Get baby. We are doing Pokemon. This fucking Floette has been in the game code since X and Y came out, and we've never been able to own it.
There was so much about Gen 6 that we just never got anything for, like any follow-up for, because we never got a third game. And now we're finally getting like a third-ish game, but it's only set in one of the cities.
Yeah.
The city that was, already the biggest and most like well fleshed out in the game.
Like a fucking XY got a half sequel in Sun and Moon because of Zygarde, and now it's getting another half sequel in this game because of Zygarde.
Yeah.
Zygarde can't get his own game, but he'll get 2 games, kind of.
Right. I've said all I can think of.
Yeah, I've said the word genocide more times than I thought I was going to. So, I think I'm good. This fucking live stream's gonna get flagged.
You can't flag. They don't flag people for genocide, right?
And I would hope not, but I don't fucking know.
Look, there's a lot of things I can't say on YouTube, but committing genocide, that's fine.
Yeah, we will hear more of genocide this year. You're right.
Oh,
God. Let's talk about cookies.
The sad thing is like it did not dawn on me how real that was for a second because I was still in Pokemon mode.
Pokemon genocide's not as big as real life genocide.
Yeah, so we've got Bake's transformation device.
I fucking can't. This man literally named himself Bake. Why?
Yeah, it's very silly. I'll say I mentioned this when we first saw the leak image of it, but I like this transformation device a whole heck of a lot better than Valen's.
Yeah, this takes everything I liked about Valen's and then just made it coherent and cool.
Yeah, I like this.
Hey.
Yeah, 6 years later, I came back. I left like 3 times, and every time I came back, I'm like, they're still all right. Let them have it. Let's come back when they're done. They're having fun.
So you have to chomp it a couple times, and then you transform.
Oh, interesting.
Because it looks like you have to chomp it.
Times?
I think so. Because the arrow goes up and down, and then pulling the trigger.
The bottom piece does not move?
No, the bottom piece does not move. It's only the top.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Boxbox says you just have to chomp it once.
Okay. So the cookie is exclusive to that, and this is just a normal retail release, right?
Yes.
Sweet. And then they're doing the single packs again for these 4 because they haven't released Spicy Gummy and Rukon Spicy enough times. But at least there's a way you can get Baki Baki stick without having to buy that sword. So that's
Yes,
cool.
I will be doing that. I will be buying a Baki Baki stick, and I still have to go buy the fucking dark chocolate one.
Yeah, I need that. I still need freaking Chakadan because I've never gotten that one.
Ever gotten a chocolate?
No. I told you I tried to buy those bags from the first set, and HLJ
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"Oh, you meant you wanted 3 fucking chips, right?" And I was like, "No, I did not want 3 chips. I wanted some of the ones I didn't have."
Yeah, I don't have an extra red.
That's true. I need Hiri Hiri chips as well. All the spices.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. I dig this. I hope it sounds neat. I'm expecting it to not sound cool, and I'll be sad. It looks cool. I like it.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm glad it's not Premium Bandai. Like this show must be doing so well that they're not pushing this shit. Because like if the show was not doing well, all this shit would be Premium Bandai. Like Gotchard. Like normal stuff you saw in the show, like what's her name's transformation device and
Yeah, Majade's freaking
Yeah.
yeah.
device.
That was probably yeah,
Just naturally.
that was probably going to be retail, and then when the show started tanking, they're like, just push it all to premium. So the fact that like this is like a fourth rider shit just coming, like Bitter Gabu was just retail. I'm like, this show's doing like the toys are doing well.
Yeah. Like literally the fact that the only premium band I think we've gotten so far is the bad guy's stupid disguise belt is honestly incredible.
That's true. Yeah. And the dark treats thing, is that premium?
Yeah,
Maybe
the dark treats prop. Yeah, I mean I don't fucking count that. Mostly because I don't want it. So
yeah, I don't care about it either.
do we know if that's actually gelatinous though? Like, can you?
I don't think so. No, it's like a plastic box that you put together. It looks like the way we talked to, I think it was last week.
That's fucking lame.
When you buy like Jazzware's Fortnite guys, and they have that square base that you're meant to like clip together, and they're like clip it into a box. That's what the dark treat thing looks like. It's like those kinds of things that clip together and make a cube.
That's so stupid. Make it out of rubber.
I agree. I don't know why they're doing
Fuck you,
it that way,
Bandai. Let me eat it.
Yeah, it's basically just a hollow plastic box that is $50.
Yeah, that is accurate.
But I guess if people want it, I don't know why it couldn't just be a solid plastic box. Like if it's,
I mean, honestly, they should have made it like a stress ball thing. I think that would have been cooler.
Yeah. All right.
And then we're getting more little angel stands. So here's another way I can get a Chakadon.
Yeah, you get a dead Chakadon.
Yeah, get a zombie Chaka. So yeah, I mean, I think the first one was cool. I don't know that they need to do it for every single one, but I guess they're confident that it'll sell. So here it is. And if you like little angel stands for your dead Gochizo, they got you covered.
So I've never thought to ask, but these are like not are they workable Gochizo at all?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they are.
I think
you
so.
can take them out. If it's the same mold as the one that released already, it's literally just a base, and you plug a Gochizo into the base.
Kind of like the way the holder works.
Yeah. So you could use any Gochizo on there.
Except like the pudding cups and
Sure.
So really, theoretically, you only ever really need one of these.
Correct.
I agree.
But these are all sparkly plastic. So if you're gunning for every Gochizo, these all have different faces and they're sparkly plastic. So
yeah, they're really going back to the well in these Gochizo with like 17 different expressions. And
I I will get a different expression one if it comes in like a set, but I'm not going after a different expression Gochizo anymore.
No,
I did
I'm
one.
not.
I did 2 of those sets. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not. I'm gonna ship them off to Jane. So
Yeah, like I said,
it'd be her problem now.
the only reason I might get this is because I still need Chakadon. Like that's the only one I might get just because I need Chakadon.
Yeah, the only alt face ones I've gotten are by accident. Like,
Yeah,
because
just
I
ones that you got on
the
accident.
rest, it really.
Yeah, same. Or like Shuk said, if it was locked in a set and I wanted the rest of the
Yeah,
set.
because like that one set
Yeah.
had a popping gummy that had a different face.
Yeah, the one with the fish and the
Yeah.
other one. Yeah, so these are here. Power Rangers. So most of the Power Ranger stuff's already been talked to death from Toy Fair, but I figured I'd throw these in real quick. Just because these little PVC figures were like what I had when I was a kid.
I hate that this is what I'm most excited about.
Right? So like they're also redoing these are the 8-inch ones that like everyone knows. They did say they're new molds, but they're obviously doing them in the style. And everyone's like, "Oh, those are the ones I had." I was like, "I never went for the giant 8-inch ones." I had a few of the flip heads, like 2 or 3, but I had like every freaking little PVC figure, all the Rangers, the civilian forms, Bulk and Skull, the monsters, then like White Ranger. White Ranger was so hard to find back in the day in the little PVC figures when they came out. But like those are the ones I had and I played with when I was a kid. And so when I saw these, I was like, "Oh, these are sweet," and they even like look really similar. Like some of the poses are even the same and everything. So I was excited about that. And then, like I said, they're doing, I guess, except Billy. I don't know why Billy's absent from the picture on the right, but I don't know. Maybe he was supposed to be behind training and he fell off or something. I don't know.
He got too high.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Box is talking about like that AI generated, like they were talking, like they made an announcement about using AI to clean up. So we talked to them about that. It's not going to be like the 2010 show. They're not adding weird effects.
It's just AI upscaling, right?
They're not even upscaling it. Like, well, I mean, they're not, because we asked them like, are you changing the aspect ratio? And they're like, no, it's made in 4:3. That's what it's going to be. We're not making it widescreen. They're literally doing it to like brighten colors, because a lot of times, if you remember, like they cut to the Sentai footage and it was so obvious, and they're just trying to kind of even it out. Like there were times, like I remember they were fighting, like I think the Minotaur or someone in the quarry, and the Pink Ranger looked gray in the Sentai footage. So they're really just using it to like enhance the colors, make it so it's not so jarring when they switch from like US to Japanese footage, and really just kind of, they don't want, as soon as kids turn it on, for them to be like, "Oh, this is super old." Like they don't want it to be that jarring. So it's really just trying to use it for that. They're not altering it in any way. They're not adding weird effects or anything like that. So it's literally just to clean it up.
I mean, that feels like a half step towards a good idea. Like I'm totally down for cleaning it up and making like it consistent, but I mean, while you're at it, like just upscale it. But like,
I mean, they might be upscaling a little bit,
Yeah.
but they're not gonna. There's only so much they can do. Like, I don't think they could put it in like 4K. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it would look like
yeah,
shit. So like maybe, but like they're not changing it to widescreen. So I don't know. Like, does 720 or 1080 make sense at that point? I don't know. So like, I don't know. I think if you try to make a widescreen, it would stretch it and it would just look weird as shit. So. You know, basically, like I said, they don't want kids to immediately turn it off, because that's their big push, is like trying to bring in new kids to this. They're counting on the parents to show it to their kids, but then also they want kids to find it and then buy the toys, and that's their big push for it. So
just because I wasn't here last week, fucking everything looks awful. I These PVC figures were the first thing that I've seen where I'm like, oh, I might actually get those. I'm very happy that Squat and Babu are getting figures. I don't particularly know if they'll scale with anything I have, but
They're 5-inch, so probably
5-inch.
not. Yeah, like 5.5 maybe, but somewhere in that area.
So depending on how they look with like maybe something that's like an old school release or some.
Yeah, like old
I don't
Bandai figures, they'd probably work with if you have those around still.
know. So we'll have to see. Those are the only ones I've ever been interested in, just because they haven't had that scale of figure before ever.
Yeah, the putties look pretty good too. If you just want to army build some putties,
Sure.
I guess.
The perk is definitely priced. Playmates shit's very cheap.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, like, if you look at the Turtle line for Playmates, they try to do bigger, fancier figures, and they're never really that good.
Yeah, and
but they
that
can
looks
make
to be the case here too.
they can make a 5-inch figure for $10 that has good articulation, detail, paint, and it's like that's their sweet spot. And I don't know how they keep the cost at $10, but that they do a really good job with that. So the flip heads, obviously the proportions are weird. I don't love the big hinge across the belly. I mean, a lot of people have found ways to hide that in the past.
I'm surprised they went with flip heads for their first figures instead of just normal.
Yeah, they are doing the normal ones too, but they did the flip heads first, I think, to try to catch on that nostalgia. But they are doing like normal 5-inch Rangers as well. And people were like, "Oh, is this your collector line?" And they're like, "Well, it's not really like we think collectors might like it, but it's not gauged that collectors like. Like if the flip heads are 10, I think the quote unquote regular figures are like 12. They said so they're still pretty cheap." The ones they had there were definitely just painted prototypes because they didn't have like ones we could play with.
Now the ones that were the silhouettes that we looked at earlier, are those also 5-inch?
Yes.
Okay, so those
like,
are the
again,
normal
like
ones.
5.5. Yeah, everything's kind of in that same 5.5 scale, with the exception of these tall ones here on the right. But yeah, all the flip heads, the quote unquote regular figures, those are all in that same scale, like with the villain figures. There's not like a 6-inch collector line like they're not doing that. They're not saying they'll never do that, but for right now, they're not doing that. The Megazord, honestly, I was surprised how big it is. It doesn't look bad. I mean, I don't know that anyone really needs another Dino Megazord, but if for some reason you do, if you never had one before, it's not bad. It reminds me very much of the Voltrons that they've done, and that's why they're selling the Zords individually, because it's the same kind of pattern as the Voltron Lions. They admitted they know that they're not. It's not really fair to say like, oh, the pterodactyl is the same as the Tyrannosaurus. So what they're trying to do is any extra pieces or things like that will come with the pterodactyl. They also have like 5 mini Rangers, like to scale with the Megazord, that are coming with the pterodactyl, and they've tried to pack in some other shit. I think maybe like the sword might also be in there. So like they're trying to even them out as best they can. But honestly, the T-Rex is pretty huge, and the Megazord altogether is like at least 15 inches. It's seems sturdy. Like the legs can go out to the side. I think it has elbows. I know people were asking if the shoulder pads can go up. They definitely can. The arms move. I don't think he had a waist because of the way the tail goes on the back. I know the tip of the tail does not swing down. The tail is one solid piece. So when it's up, the tail will be solid up behind his head. But yeah, it's pretty big and it seems solid. Like I think it'll be good if kids want to roughhouse with it. Like it can take it. But yeah, it looked all right, honestly. Like I said, I don't know that I need it. If they want to send me one, I'll be happy to do a video for it. But it's big. It's pretty big. So there's not much for DC. So you guys know we talked about it last week. Mattel is taking over the DC license. I think I heard McFarlane has it through the end of 2025. So there's still like all the stuff in the pipeline is still happening. Spin Master told me they have it until the end of 2026. I don't know if that's true. I would say at least maybe the first half of 2026. But they're kind of pivoting away from the 4-inch stuff that we've been getting. They still have those weird mecha metal force or whatever that is, where it's like the figure inside a mech suit. They showed those same ones we've already seen, but like nothing new. So that might be the end of that. And then they're doing these, which is some kind of Ninja Batman, Samurai Batman line. These are 5-inch. So like I'm out. But you can see Batman, Joker here. Joker's got like a samurai man bun. And then Robin and Gorilla Grodd. For some reason, he's just here. So yeah, it seems like they're pivoting to 5-inch. Like the retro figures they did for Batman Beyond were 5-inch, but that was like because the original ones were. But then these are also 5-inch. So I'm wondering if maybe it's a situation where like because Mattel would do either 6-inch or 4-inch, so maybe if they move to 5-inch, they can keep it a little bit longer. Is maybe something. I'm just guessing here, but yeah, I don't know. These are okay. They come with the weapons on a little sprue like weapons rack, like the old '87 Turtles, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, just not for me. They don't look horrible, but just not for me. I think there's one more pick. Yeah, they also had this like Ninja Strike Batwing thing. So he sits in there quite large. But there you go. The funniest thing was they have like the Nutcracker line, like the 12-inch ones. I don't have pictures of it, but so they have that, and then they had a Batmobile for that. And the Batmobile literally like you take the entire hood, window, and roof of the car back, and then Batman just sits in it with his legs. His ass is at the back. His legs are all the way up at the roof or the hood of the car, and you can't close it with him in it. And I just like looking at this thing, and I'm like, "Who is this for? Who wants this weird Nutcracker Batman Batmobile? He can't even fit in. It's so weird looking." But yeah, I threw Mask in here. I know Chris was asking for it last week. I don't think he's in the chat this week, but so right before Toy Fair last week, they showed like silhouettes, or maybe I think they showed either the Condor or the Thunderhawk as like a tease. But obviously, I got to see full pictures here. So this is the Condor. It's a motorcycle that can turn into a helicopter, and then this is the little figure. These were like 2.5-inch back in the day, and they're sticking with that because they feel like the thing that this line had going for it that kept it unique was that the figures were like a different size from everything else in the 80s because everything else was 3 3/4 inch. But they added a little bit more articulation, like the shoulders can go out to the side. They couldn't do that before. They look really cool. Also, I got to have John Warden literally walk me through this whole display, which was a personal bucket list thing. It was really cool to talk to him, and he was so excited about it. Yeah, so this is the Condor. I think they said this one is...
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Were you in unison?
No, we were not. I didn't talk. I just sat there and listened to him talk. Yeah, the Condor's 30. Yeah, that was the thing. The prices were a little high, but I think it's because they got to pay Hasbro so much licensing, and they're like a smaller company. But they did say it's like a collector line. And he did say there will be more to these. So, like, yes, this release is $30 and doesn't look like much right now, but he said that there will be additional things added to it that they couldn't bring or show right now. So the Condor for $30 might have some extra tchotchkes in it by the time it actually releases. And they're also recreating the original packaging, which they didn't have to show, but they said they're very excited about that as well. So yeah, so this first one I think is 30. The next picture is the Thunderhawk, probably the most iconic vehicle from all of Mask. I think this one is 50. And again, these were painted prototypes, so they could not transform, so they couldn't show us that. But they said that he's going to have like they are working up, because the original toy, after a while, the wings would start to droop, and so they're working on that, so that doesn't happen. It's going to have the ability to drop bombs from underneath. It has the effect pieces for the like smokestacks out the back. They also made it a point to say that all of the labels will be consumer applied. So that way, if you are a customizer, if you want to paint it instead of putting on stickers, you'll have that option. I was like, I'd rather you just put the stickers on for me personally, but at least these are nice flat surfaces, so it won't be like trying to do Soto figures or anything like that. But yeah, so this one I think is 50, and then the next one is the Switchblade, but apparently they can't call it the Switchblade anymore because they don't have the rights to that name, so that it's called like X-22 helicopter or whatever the hell kind of helicopter it looks like. I don't know. But again, really cool. I love this one. I think this one might be, I want to say 60 or 70. I'm not 100% sure. But it transforms from jet to helicopter. And the figures look so good. All these figures, I think, look amazing. And then the last one, John called this the second most iconic big rig from the 80s. The Rhino, and it comes with 2 figures. And again, it couldn't transform, but like the side of it opens up. The 2-wheel section comes off on the back and will move around. You can see the missile there. I think he said that'll have the spring-loaded missile thing. And they've also, so they're like pretty faithful recreations of the original toys, but they've added some things around like pegs for like characters to attach their feet to like different places. So like the silver section under the door will have a peg if you want to have a figure just like stand on there and be able to attach to it. So they're doing things like that. And I think the Rhino is 100, they said. I asked them, what about like other things that they did in the past, like just figure 2-packs and things like that. And he's like, yeah, if people want that stuff, we can totally do it. He said he was willing to do anything. I asked him about Boulder Hill because I think a lot of people, that was the big base. He said he thought that would be like a really cool thing for crowdfunding, maybe because they would like to make it bigger, add more detail, maybe some more figures, things like that. So that could be really cool. So I think this will do well, and if it does, they're ready to do as much as they can with it. I also asked him about other things. Like he's like, I want to reach into Hasbro's toy box and anything else they're not playing with. Like I want them. He mentioned like Battle Beasts, maybe in humanoids. Somebody was like Visionaries, and he was like, and then it turns out that Super 7 is actually doing Visionaries. With their O-ring line, so we're getting Visionaries from Super 7 at some point. They weren't there, but it's happening, which I'm excited about. So yeah, I don't know. 80s is back in full swing. Mask looks amazing. I'm excited, and so I wanted to show you these pictures I took. All right, moving on to blockies. We got another. What the hell are these called? Now I'm blanking. The light up ones, they have a name. All I can think of now is Starlight, which is the
Shining.
Shining, thank you. Shining version. Starlight is the 3-inch ones. But yeah, so it looks like Tarn, Ramjet, Bumblebee. The chest on Bumblebee looks weird for some reason. Orion Pax, Minor Megatron, 2 versions of Minor Megatron. Or no, is that a different? Is that like IDW Megatron? I don't know. There are 2 different versions of Minor Megatron, and then Diaclone Magnus. I'm assuming one of these is going to be a chase. Maybe one of the Megatrons is a chase. I don't know. But yeah, so this should be happening sometime soon. They look really cool. I'm excited. I love that Diaclone Magnus. I want that so bad. Hopefully he's not the chase. Because then I'll never have him.
So what bee is this supposed to be?
I do not know. It looks like the kind of normal Bumblebee, but the chest is just so weird. So I don't know what's going on with that. But everyone else looks cool. Oh, also, it was a flu for whoever was bringing it up earlier. I have seen the blocky video. You can see me. I mean, they didn't feature me or anything. I'm just like in the background of 2 shots. I look terrible, but I am there. It's time for Wheeljack. We got sticks.
We got sticks.
Sticks are now here. So We've unlocked the sticks, and I think we only have like 2,000 more to go to get the stand, so I don't think that'll be an issue. So he should be fully decked out with all his accessory, and
I
yeah,
have to
it'll
bag
be
it
great.
still.
Oh, you still have to be able to get on it. See, that's one more to the 18,000.
Yeah, one step closer to stand.
Stand. Yeah, I'm excited. He looks good. I want it. I'm happy we're getting Death Cobra. Obviously, was the most important part. I'm glad he was first.
Yeah, I'm surprised Death Cobra was first and not last.
Yeah, I think it was
Not
like
that it ultimately matters. Everything's already been
no,
made.
but just in case, like it's decent that they put him first and not
Mhm.
last because like they could easily have done him last as an incentive thing or do one of those stupid like if he funds in the first week, I'm like just give us the damn thing. We're paying you enough money. It's fine. So, but yeah, he's cool. I like it.
All right.
And then this fine gentleman, you go ahead, shoot.
Yeah, were these at Toy Fair at all?
Yes.
Okay. So these went up Tuesday of this week post Toy Fair. I didn't put Crasher in here since Crasher was an old
Yeah.
figure that I need. So
There you
do
go.
need to-
Because
need
I
to
saw
put
her
it.
and I was like, again, didn't we release this like 3 times already?
Only the second time. But yeah, Alchemist Prime. He's a man.
He's a steampunk gentleman. He's only missing a top hat with goggles. Like, look at those eyes and the mustache.
Damn. Now I want like non-F Productions or something to make a fucking
Yeah,
top
it's
hat
like
for
if
him.
Paul F. Tompkins was a transformer.
He looks neat. I like him. I don't know what else this mold will ever be, but
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking, I mean, it's generic enough that they could do like a Ratchet or something out. I hope they don't, but
I don't want. Never mind.
you can don't put it in the universe.
I talked myself out of it.
See, I don't know what his accessories are either, but
Yeah, I don't.
I
I don't know what they're supposed to
I
be.
don't know. But that's fine. Get on to the sweet daddy over here. Vortex. Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I saw the picture of this at first and I thought it was the Magic Square one. That's how impressed I was with it. I was like,
And
damn, good
and the
job.
Combaticons were announced with little fanfare.
Yes. But yeah, here he is. I like him. I think that both modes look great. I'm excited to see what they do for the rest of them. It's good stuff.
And just for the record, for anyone following along at home, this took Swindle's place.
Yeah.
In this wave, Swindle's coming out later, I think.
But yeah, good stuff.
Looks really good. I can't.
I don't
wait
know
for
why
the
they
backgrounds.
they condensed him into one blade because he has the 4 blades. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
when you see him in the cartoon, he's got. I mean, I guess it's 2 crossed, but I just mean they've obviously pushed them together for this shot. But you can see it over here on the. At least I hope you can still achieve because he's supposed to have the cross on his back, but we'll see.
Probably.
Either way, still looks really good. And then there's this dude. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this dude.
This is Onyx Prime, and he is fucking cool.
Man.
I love this son of a bitch. He's got a Centaur mode too that I didn't put in here because all
You can see it.
pictures suck.
You can see it over here on the right.
Oh yeah, look at it. He's over here. Yeah, I did it.
So I just realized I was like, where do those other legs go? They go up on his shoulders.
Yeah.
It looks like he's ball deep in somebody and he's got the legs over the shoulders. It's it's crazy.
But no, this one's really really cool. Onyx Prime's always been a really interesting character because he was like the first beast transformer, and so he's always has like a mythical kind of creature element.
Yeah, I know like he has nothing to do with like a deer or something, but I get like maybe it's the color scheme. I get like a kind of like and maybe it's the centaur mode too, but I get like it reminds me of like something from Warcraft, like one of those like druid things. You know what I mean? Like the I don't know the mythological terms, but yeah, he's neat.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the animal head like is.
It ends up looking
It's got,
kind of like
two
a
little things on the front.
like a gargoyle-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, or like a dragony. I'm not quite sure either.
thing.
Yeah, or like a dragony. I'm not quite sure either.
He's definitely very strange. But this fucking robot mode's hot. I love this robot mode.
Floof says it's just a dragon. You don't know that, Floof. You
You're
weren't
just
there.
a dragon.
All right.
You're not. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just tossed this in there because again we were short on time today. So they showed off Sideways. There we go.
Yeah, noise.
I always just want to say Noise Maze.
because it's a cooler name. So much
And-
cooler.
And he's partnered with Excellion, which is the Japanese name.
Yeah,
but-
exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, Excellion's just a remold of Cybertron Hotshot, which was also a toy in Cybertron's toy line as well. So no surprise there, nothing new, nothing crazy. This fucking Noise Maze, though, holy shit, that's
Look-
just the original toy.
When I saw it at first, I was like, are they still using the original toy? Like they don't have the prototype yet? And then they're like, no, that's it. I'm like, damn. Good
Like
job.
they took the original toy, I think made it a little bit bigger because Noise Maze was always a pretty small
yeah.
toy, and like gave it a little bit of articulation bump. Not that the old one was bad with articulation or anything, but
The transformation was so confusing that the way you had to like move the legs around to make it into the wing. So I hope this one transforms a little easier.
sure.
But yeah, I saw online like someone put the two of them, like this one and the original, next to each other, and then you can tell them apart. But
Yeah,
still
yeah.
pretty damn good. They even painted the planet key, which they never do. So that's cool. Yeah, he looks so good. And then in disappointing news, here's a bunch of fucking shit you have to rebuy if you want Ramhorn. Fucking like, what is
Yeah,
the purpose of this garbage?
I have discovered I don't need Ramhorn.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really look that great. And I'm still mad because, one, they put Steeljaw out with that fucking speaker piece. And okay, well, Blaster has two of those. So you're thinking you're going to get Ramhorn with the other speaker piece and everyone's happy. No. Not only do you not get the speaker piece at all, they packed Ramhorn in with a fucking like slightly better cartoon accurate paint scheme of Perceptor and Ratbat. Like Ratbat looks good, but like I don't need Perceptor. Like the one I have from Studio Series is perfectly fine. And this is just
I feel Perceptor is the strangest part of this set
yeah.
because Ratbat honestly needed to get another release. It was only in that one Siege release, and
With
I
a
don't-
frenzy, right?
I had a hard time finding that set.
Yeah.
And
And they've redone Frenzy anyway.
Sure. But I don't know why they picked Perceptor. Studio Series Perceptor was fine.
I guess just because he's in that scene when he's getting his ass beat up in the tower. That's the only thing I can think of.
Sure.
But like you said, I mean, I almost wish they had saved Blaster for this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like if they had saved Blaster for this and then threw Eject in here as well, I probably would have been fine buying it because it was a better, like that was the thing. Like the original Kingdom Blaster was fine. I didn't really care for the translucent Eject. And then when they did the Studio Series one, it was a nicer paint job for Blaster. You got a much better version of Eject. And I was like, but I already have Blaster and the one I have is fine. And I kind of waited for a sale and then it just disappeared and I missed out. So like if this was a reissue of that Blaster, because I feel like it wasn't super easy to get, if it was that Blaster with these two, and even throw Eject in there, but then I guess it would be too expensive. I don't know. The Perceptor, yeah. I'm trying to think who else they could do.
said it has no clear plastic now, and it has new ankle and waist joints.
Oh, really? What was wrong with the other ones?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is one, if I could get it on sale, I'd probably bite, but if I end up not getting it, I'll probably just live without it, and that's whatever. But yeah, I want Ramhorn, and I want the other speaker piece.
Who knows if we'll ever get it?
Oh,
now.
Blade Raider was talking about Noise Maze, not Perceptor. But in any case, these guys are cool. You got some.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get you now.
We were theorizing that they would make the grunt from Devastation out of Runamuck and Runabout, and they did. So here you go. That mold's back. It looks good. I love the colors. I'm here for it. I feel like is the back transformed wrong though? Because doesn't that go up higher? Or maybe they changed it for this guy?
normally they go up higher. I don't remember the model whether it should be up higher or not.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But either way, it looks cool. I'm here for it.
And this is just fucking Earthrise Seeker mold.
Yeah, so this is just another cone head. I guess it's Ramjet, right?
Yeah.
It's like a charcoal Ramjet. But again, it was a
with Optimus Primal swords. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know why he has Optimus Primal swords, but maybe that was in the game. I don't remember.
It was.
So long ago.
Someone said this other week when we were talking about it that Optimus Primal's swords were a weapon in that game.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, so this is like a grunt 2-pack for Devastation, which is cool. I'm definitely here for it. And then in the middle here is the Amazon set, and I don't remember their names, so I'll let Rye take it away.
Physitron?
What'd you say?
Physitron? Is that?
Yeah. Yes. Carnavac and Physitron.
I was trying to read the little name plaque before I saw that the box was behind him. And I thought it said Fightron, and I'm like, that's the most generic ass name.
It's me, Fightron. So that's the Hound mold, right?
Yeah, that's Siege Hound.
Okay, cool, fun. Siege Hound and Titan's Return Weird Wolf.
Yeah, so they're really reaching back. I like the colors though. Like they remind me of somebody else, and I can't think of who it is, but
also, I love. Flu said that those swords are new molds; they're not actually taken from.
That's awesome. And maybe it's like Axel from Action Masters. I don't know. The colors remind me of somebody, so I really like the look of Fightron, even though I don't know what he's from or anything about him. Carnavac, the colors are good. But I'm like, he's a pretender, and you've done nothing to acknowledge that whatsoever. Like, they couldn't even take one of the old pretender shells from Power of the Primes and put the headmaster in it. Like, even just that would have been something. Or even if they like included one of those weird like animal forms from Titan's Return, you know, the little basic ones that you could plug the headmasters into. Like, just do something to acknowledge that it was a pretender and it's not just a freaking Weird Wolf repaint, but.
Blader is saying that Iron Fists. Well, Physitron. His colors are kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is, so they're not fucked up to me. But I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, to me, it's just a guy I don't know in a color scheme I like. So I'm like, okay. But I understand if you actually know him from whatever fiction he's from. Yeah, these were a wild card. So apparently, like, Mattel was all over the Hasbro booth. Apparently, they're doing a Barbie collab with Play-Doh, where you get like a naked Barbie and then you put the Play-Doh on her body as the dress, so you can like design your own. That's a big thing that they're pushing for. Like, as soon as you walked in the Hasbro booth, it was like giant Barbie display. Everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So apparently, they've already done the Transformers and the Hot Wheels line. Now they're doing some random
Hot Wheels and the Transformers line.
Right. So it's like the vehicles just look like they would be Hot Wheels cars because they just do like random hot rods and shit. And now they just turn into robots.
And they are new molds.
Yeah, they're neat. I mean, they're kind of cool.
I thought this was Beachcomber for a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, nope, that's not Beachcomber.
I was getting real like Speedbreaker vibes from the dude on the left.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, we literally just did that, so it's not. There's no way they're doing that again. But yeah, I mean, they're just random cars that look like Hot Wheels cars that now turn into robots. Yeah, they kind of look cool.
They look really cool.
I'll get them. Yeah. I don't have any. I don't even think they have character names, honestly, or maybe they do. But
they do. I don't remember what they are. I saw their little tags. They do have.
Yeah, names. But they're neat. So yeah, pretty cool.
I do think it's funny that the guy on the right's feet are basically just like big bricks.
Yeah, it looks like the whole hollow area where the driver's seat is like folded up into his like shins.
Twin mill and bone something. Says
Yeah. Hey, Twin Mill, you want to bone something?
yeah.
All right.
I hope he's called like Bone Daddy or something ridiculous
Also,
like that.
real quick. Blade Runner said that in Last Stand of the Wreckers, Visitron was Iron Fist's pen name because he was an author. And so since they can't use Iron Fist, they just used Visitron instead.
Oh, yeah, because Marvel, I assume. But I mean, they license enough other shit from Disney. Just let them use Iron Fist. His pen name. I just like that in the comic he's like writing, some kind of book on Cybertron. Anyway, this.
If Skywarp can be a fucking like director or whatever the hell Skywarp was.
I never read any of that shit, but yeah, what I did read was Void Rivals, and in the first issue of Void Rivals, these two people over here on the right run into a shut down Jetfire, and they've decided to hold these two figures hostage by packing them with this fucking $90 transformer you probably already have at least one of. And if you want to buy it again for some reason, if anyone, by the way, if anyone doesn't want the figures and just wants the Jetfire, let me know, because I just want the figures. They look really good, but I just do not need another Jetfire. And I'm sure this is going to be like a Pulse exclusive or some shit. This is not going to see retail. But it looks great.
I mean, it's a good mold. It's a fun mold. I think.
Yeah, if I didn't have it already,
this
I'd
is
be
the
jumping
most
at it.
Studio Series-ish version of this that we've had.
That's true. They won't, because he wasn't in the movie, so they won't do
that. But yeah, that being said, don't need Jetfire a third time. So, but if you don't have them yet, fucking go for it. Great mold. Definitely a great mold.
Yeah, if you don't have one, then 100% jump on it.
Plus, you get 2 little peoples.
Yeah, which you should then give to me. Yeah, so this is just fucking all over the place.
I just put this one picture in here for Cyberworld because time.
I don't know how I feel about any of this.
This is options.
I mean, on one hand, I love the crazy like '90s color scheme of it all, the just fucking bonkersness to it. But like, I don't know, Scorponok has no leg movement whatsoever, and like that giant Grimlock, I think looks like ass. Like he literally transforms by going like this. This is my mouth now. Like that's literally it. Like the littler figures I kind of like the Megatron or the Bumblebee. Like they're not amazing, but they're tiny and cheap enough, and I think it'll be fun to dick around with them. I kind of like the Scorponok, like I said, just because how goofy and ridiculous it is. I probably won't go for the Grimlock, but I probably will get like some of the tinier figures, especially if they're not that expensive.
Some of them is kind of neat. I like the fact that like Skybite has wheels.
Yeah, I don't know why. They're just like, well, let's see. So far, he's Skybite. He's conquered the air. He's conquered the sea. Time to put him on land, motherfucker.
Yeah,
let's
land
do
shark.
This. The only frontier he has not conquered yet.
The Scorponok is just fucking out there. The Grimlock's rough.
The Grimlock, I think, is the worst thing out of everything I've seen.
They show that you can put like Prime on top of him, and then
like in his chest, he like
when
rides.
You transform him, he can sit in his chest. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
it's weird.
Yeah, some of these are cool-ish. I think there was like an Alita one that didn't look too bad. Oh, Falcon Tech's right.
Yeah.
I did that in Rid. I forgot.
There was an episode of Car Robots where he dressed up like a car to infiltrate some race or something that they were all. I don't remember what it was.
Dressed up as a car.
Yeah, he does. Like he literally, you can see like he's in shark mode. He's got like a red blanket or something on him with wheels, and then is just like looking around, like, does anyone realize I'm a shark? And everyone's like, yeah, dude, we can tell it's you.
Yeah, there's a Galvatron, the Bull Megatron that we talked about. There's a couple other variations of the Bull Megatron that are different characters.
Yeah, there's like a couple dinos in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I gotta look. I didn't really get a chance to dive into the pics. I kind of was in the middle of shit and just seeing what other people were posting, so I got to track them down and really look through them. But
yeah, Blader. So there's a Boat Alita one that looks like Riptide, which I think is a comic character, if I remember correctly.
He said Ripe Tide.
He did say Riptide. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
That tide is smelling a little ripe.
But yeah, so like this line is very, very hit and miss. I want to avoid it completely just to save money, but I might cherry pick some things every now and then. Like, especially if I go to the store and I don't see anything that I want and I just have this need to buy something new.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I kind of like these kind of lines because you can get stuff for like under $10 and it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, and I like having that option, like you said, because I don't always want to buy.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was like a Power Pinch looking dude. Little bug man.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so like I don't know. Sometimes I have a lot of fun. Like I remember, I think it was in Cyberverse when they did those ones where
Guys,
it was
there's
like
a bumblebee.
It was like a little almost like a core class guy, but then he came with like a little vehicle that turned into armor. And they were like 12 or $15 a pop. And I remember loving them because even without the armor, like the little core class style figures were so fun and so great.
Which line was it?
This was in Cyberverse. Like they did.
Okay, yeah.
There was a Starscream and there was a Skyfire and probably some others. Like fucking Starscream came with like a bulldozer. It makes no sense. But then like it came apart and was armor. And there was a Ratchet in there. It was just a stupid, fun little line, and I loved the hell out of it. They only got like 5 or 6 of them, but so I'm hoping this is like this kind of goofy shit. I love tiny figures.
Yeah, the line has a lot of potential to be really fun, and I hope it is. What the fuck is that Transformers One Prime doing there?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just hanging out. I don't really know why. They're like,
hey,
we also
this
have
still
this.
exists.
Yeah, this is here for you to look at.
Hey. Okay, yeah, that's enough. If better pictures and stuff come out of the cyber world stuff, we might take a better look at it.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through Toy Arc and see if they did anything.
Like I saw a lot of really good pictures floating around, but like I said, didn't have time to put everything together, and I don't think I've even seen everything.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, they did. They're doing like Mattel is doing Thundercats that like look like they fit in with He-Man, but then they come with parts to make them look like regular Thundercats. Like if you want the He-Man aesthetic, you can, or if you want the classic Thundercat look, you can. So I think those look fun, and they're just going to be like the Origins line, so like 15 or 20 a piece, which should be good. Remember the days when they used to just do one big page with all of the shit? It was so much easier. I'm talking like beginning days of Geek Each Week when Shuk and I would just go to the Toy Arc page and just bring up. It was a page with 17,000 links on it. I guess maybe this is it. This Archangel thing. No, this is all Marvel. I guess they didn't care about Transformers. Fine. But, you know, they probably funneled it to DFW. Anyway, that's the news. So if anybody... Yeah, that's the other thing. I saw people start posting pictures of Epic Hero Series shit, and I was like, where was that? Like, nobody took pictures of that. Everyone I talked to that went to the Hasbro thing was like, X-Men, G.I. Joe. I was like, yeah, but where's... Nobody cared about the kitty shit at all. It was like, nope. Because I saw pictures, someone was like, look, they made a Venomverse playset. And I was like, oh, where? I didn't see that. That's awesome. So, yeah. I'll have to look for pictures of that, too. Fuck. I'm done. I'm just going to Google this. But, yeah, if you guys want to throw numbers, we'll do some numbers quick, and then we'll get out of here. What is this thing called? Cyber World?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. First up, we got 33. $75.
I'm gonna see what happens. Oh wow.
It's the long pause and then the oh wow.
Oh wow.
44.
Jocelyn, be careful. There's a sharp curve coming up. Hold on to the water.
I know that stage, but it still makes me laugh. And also, once again, it is noticeable that Bryn Paints is not here. He did not ask for dog cheese, but 56. I constantly forget that we have that one. It's so weird. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I can't believe we got almost 2 hours. Hell yeah. That's great.
Hell yeah, Pokemon.
I was going to say only an hour and a half of that was Pokemon, so that was cool. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you next week. Aerosol, I think you know what I need to play us out.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll.